All right, my Food Mood friends, welcome. Chandra's Awesome Odyssey, Food Mood Coaching. All right, it's Monday, and I often feel like my energy is a little bit down on Mondays, and I normally don't record videos on Mondays, but today's Monday is when I'm recording this, and it's actually the week this video is gonna come out. So I'm a little bit in a mellow Monday slow mode.
Welcome! Here is your hostess and coach, Chandra Zas, helping people make food and mood changes doable without missing out. Go ahead, high five that like button, subscribe and share while you're there.
We actually have this great new routine in our family where we schedule in our calendars to have Monday mellow Monday evenings, where we really try to not schedule anything, that we can just kind of like be mellow on Mondays, because often on the weekend we're like going and doing all the things and snowboarding and social stuff, and it's a really nice rhythm we've been creating with having Mondays. And actually Thursdays is the other night that we're doing our best to keep them open to just be home, chill, and regenerate our energy, just kind of have that good medicine of being home. So today's Monday, and I'm really looking forward to Mellow Monday. We had some really dear friends in town this weekend, and it was just so beautiful and so sweet. One of my daughter's best friends was here, and they just played like crazy. Actually, I don't feel like I saw my daughter this weekend because she was just having a blast with her friend, and we really loved her parents. And it was just a really special weekend full of lots of fun. And Mellow Monday is sounding particularly good because they were here for 4 nights, and a lot of people, a lot of energy, a lot of doing, a lot of on, not a lot of decompression time. Although we did have an epic hot tub afternoon yesterday, which was really regenerative for all of us. Yeah, and what I wanna share with you, I actually was just sitting here thinking, what kind of video do I wanna create this week? I normally have like a list of things, or I normally have something planned, and this week I was like, So I just kind of sat here and I decided that I want to talk about this project I've been working on with my daughter's school. And I've been getting really involved with her school on wellness. And it started with, I went to one of the first PFA meetings when school started. I think I went in October, I think it was. And one of the things I heard was that there's a 20% behavioral struggle at her school. And it was a parent meeting, and it's talking about, how do we keep our school thriving? She's in a really great school with a lot of support and a lot of really great things. And when I heard we have 20% of kids who are struggling with behavior, for me, my food bells went off of like, ooh, food. Like if we can get really nourishing food into all of the kids' bellies, their behavior is going to get better. And not only, and when I kind of started talking with the principal, and I'm starting to have this really sweet relationship with the principal, she's so in favor of the kids, and it's just really, really beautiful. And I kind of dug into like, well, what does that mean? She's like, well, we don't have like, serious behavior stuff. It's more learning stuff. Like they're struggling to focus. They're struggling to sit down and learn, and school, one of the main points of the school and the way that the schools are measured is like, how are their test scores, which, is obviously connected to how are they able to sit down and focus and learn. And for me, I'm like, great, like food is still one of the most basic things that we can do to help the kids be able to focus and learn.
Hello, my friend, how are you? I'm in the Dead Sea, floating in the water. Go ahead and like and share and follow so we can keep in touch.
And so I actually did a presentation both for the teachers and one for the parents in the last month or so, and really focusing on what are the struggles of both the teachers, which is kind of a different category. It's more like the professional realm of like how I help people, and then really focusing on like how do we help the kids to be able to learn better. And so I shared a couple stories that I think are really powerful that, in the clients that I've been helping over the last several years, that I help parents anywhere from CEOs and business owners who are really wanting like more brain productivity, focus, concentration, productivity, creativity. And then I also have helped a number of grandmas. I just think it's cool to say CEOs to grandmas. Grandmas who are wanting to get out of pain, who are wanting more energy, who are wanting to feel better, more energy for their grandkids. And the cool thing is that it's the same program. It's the same exact, get more nourishing foods in our body, which both help balance our body's systems and get us out of pain. Our body naturally wants to heal and maintain. If we give it the right resources, it can do it. And also what we're putting in our mouth, it's going into our gut, and how our gut health is directly connected to our brain, how well we feel mood-wise, but also how on or clear or productive we feel. And so the other really important story to tie in here is that when my daughter was 3, she was at a preschool and it was the pandemic, and so it wasn't no shared food. And one of the teachers was like, I noticed what you're feeding your daughter, and even at 3, when she doesn't have a nap, she's still well regulated all the way till 5. Can you teach the other parents how to feed their kids so that their kids are better well regulated, and basically so that the teacher's job is easier? And so for me, it was like, oh yes, of course, it's the exact same equation for the CEO, for the grandma, and for the kid. And as I've been observing the school's offerings of food, which start in the before care program, to what's being offered in parties and treats and rewards and snacks by the school, and then the hot lunch, and then the aftercare. There's probably some more snacks in there between lunch and aftercare, and then what's the aftercare. And it's a lot of processed food. It's a lot of food that dysregulates all of us, our human bodies, the CEOs, the grandmas, and the kids. So like, I've heard that my daughter's not in before care, but I've heard that they're getting a lot of donuts for breakfast. And it's like, I just think about, okay, a kid is getting a donut, and then they're going to class and they're being expected to like sit in their desk, and sugar, it like gives us a lot of energy. And it's like, then they're being told to control that energy and kind of repress it and sit and try to focus, when everything in their body is like, I want to go run, I want to get all this energy out. And then, of course, it's like the most easy thing is to give kids sugar as a reward. Like, they'll do almost anything for sugar. Like, we all will. It's like, you're going to promise me a lollipop if I, recite what you tell me to recite. It's like, this is huge motivation. Sugar is like very, very motivating, but it dysregulates our brains. It stops us from being able to like actually sit and focus and learn. The hot lunches also, I mean, you get the idea. So it's basically this pattern of the kids are often eating like dysregulatory foods that make them, it's hard for them to control their energy, sit and focus. So like, if I give solutions, like what are the options? Like, a lot of people are asking me, well, what are you giving your kid? What are you actually feeding her? Proteins, but like proteins that are like really highly nourishing, not processed proteins that don't have sugar laced in, that don't have other additives and chemicals. So proteins, whole grains, oils are so important for our body. Not the seed oils, not the highly processed oils that's in most packaged foods, that's in almost every restaurant, or any kind of foods that you're buying out and about that you're not making. These processed oils, it's harder to track these, but they're not nourishing our brain. Like, our brains need really good oils. The first food that I fed my daughter when she was 5 months old in Santorini, Greece, was an egg yolk, because egg yolks have so many good omegas that really feed and nourish our brains. And so noticing, okay, well, obviously there's a money thing, right? The before care and the after care, they're required to give the kids who don't have snacks, and they have a budget. And so the cheapest options are these cheap options that don't actually have the nourishing components that our kids need to actually feel regulated. I asked her the aftercare program, because they're feeding them like packaged snacks, like Oreos, Rice Krispies, all of the stuff that's easy to come in a individual little bag. They each get their little thing. And I asked them a couple months ago, I said, do you guys notice that like after you guys feed them these snacks that they're like their behavior kind of goes a little, I don't remember the word I used, but haywire? And they were like, no. And then a couple weeks ago, that same staff person I talked to months ago was like, remember you asked me that food question about noticing the kids? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, we totally notice it. Luckily, I'm in touch with the aftercare, before care program. They're open to switching out the foods. They need a grant because it's about money, but they're open if I can help them figure out the grant piece. And actually, I just found someone whose company is willing to give our school a grant. And so we are going to actually be able to switch out the foods that are offered for both the before care and the aftercare program into more nourishing foods. So I'm gonna work with them on the budget. I'm gonna work with them on the options. And for me, it's one of the most important programs. I think also the hot lunches are really important, But the kids who are in the before care and in the aftercare are the kids who have, their parents have less resources. They're probably both parents are working and they don't have as much time to make food, time and money to get really nourishing foods in their kid's body. And so that's, I think, where I'm really gonna help this 20% of kids who are struggling behavior-wise, because the way I look at it is like my daughter is getting mostly nourishing foods. When she's eating with us, she's getting lots of good stuff. And so she's getting, you know, occasional treats here and there, or if it's, you know, even if it's one snack a day, or let's say 2 snacks, maybe the teacher's giving her some candy and then aftercare she's eating some Oreos or whatever it is. Like, she's not going to be so dysregulated. Like, the idea of that I work with my clients with in my program is like getting our guts and our brains to a resilient place where we can handle treats and it's not going to really throw us off. But the kids who are eating, you know, cereal for breakfast, it's loaded with processed sugars and processed carbs, and then they're going to school and they're getting more sugar and they're not getting that nourishing baseline, those are the ones that are having even a bigger issue. And for me, I just really look at the intergenerational impact. Like, our kids are our future, or at least maybe, you know, it's easy to be disconnected and say, well, like, it's not my future, but it is the future of America, the future of our local communities, the future of our local, it's the future of our children. It's their health that they're gonna have to deal with and they're gonna have to navigate. And having our health is like one of the biggest, I wanna call it a gift, but it's also just like a necessary piece of life that we all need. We need our health. It's more than a gift. It's more than a luxury. It is necessary to have our health, to have a functioning brain, to have a healthy, able body. It's necessary. And so I just think about, like, one of the biggest impacts I can make is actually helping kids have better options given to them and to really get nourishing foods in their body. To me, it's just a massive passion project. And it's completely in alignment with my program of like how I'm teaching clients and parents and professionals how to get nourishing foods in their body, in their family's body, sometimes in their parents' body, if it's grandparents in the family, but how to really feed our bodies so that our bodies can do what they want to do, which is function at a high level. And guess what happens when we're getting, you know, good proteins and complex carbs and good fats and oils? We feel better in our own skin. We feel it. I mean, if you have played around with your food and you've noticed, like, you feel when we eat funky, you know, think about the holidays. I feel like the holidays is such an easy thing because we all eat like weirder on the holidays, and you just feel that off feeling and your brain's foggy and you're just like, think about that feeling. And like, if kids are eating that way regularly, like, they're feeling that way. And so they want to show up. They want to show up really like a good kid. They want to show up well behaved. They want to please the big people around them. They want to learn. They want to do well in the test scores. But if they're not having nourishing things in their body and they're feeling weird in their skin and they're feeling like they have all this, you know, dysregulated energy, it's hard for them to show up like they want to show up. And so helping getting food, nourishing food in their body and brain, you know, ultimately we are feeding the organ of our brain. Our gut and our brain are so connected that when we start really understanding that I'm eating to feed my body and to nourish my brain and to help myself feel good, it's a game changer. It's really, really big game changer. So I'm getting heavily involved with my daughter's school and helping make not only changes for my daughter, you know, she says the aftercare program, we've been working with it and I've been loading her up on snacks and trying to help her have a better option. But I was asking her, I was like, so what's the hardest part? She's like, well, everybody else is eating it, you know, because it's like that social pressure. It's that thing that everybody's having the shiny package and the colorful thing that tastes amazing and creates these fireworks in our brain. And she's like, it's hard that everyone else is having it, I'm not. And so I'm like, okay, like she came up with an idea that she's gonna start, she's been doing this for about a month. She's been like just having one bite and then throwing the rest away, which I know is a hard thing. And I'm sure she's not doing it every single time, but just like to acknowledge that social emotional piece that she's wanting to be a part of everything else. And also trying to help her connect the dots of like choosing healthy without the restriction, without the pressure, but also connecting how, I mean, I notice a difference depending on what she eats in aftercare, how she behaves in the evening. It's noticeable. It's very noticeable. It matters. It really, really matters. So if you're looking for this kind of help, come find me. If you're a parent, professional, I can help you feed the whole family, your body, your brain, so that you feel, that your family feels regulated, solid, able to learn, focus, create. Thank you so much. See you next week.